Have you ever wondered how a tiny virus could bring the world to its knees? It all began in the closing months of 2019 in a city most had never heard of, Wuhan, China. An unseen enemy, a virus, was discovered. This was no ordinary virus, though. It was novel, it was unknown, and it was about to change the world as we knew it. The virus, later named COVID-19, spread like wildfire. From a single city, it found its way across borders, oceans, and continents. By March of 2020, the World Health Organization had no choice but to declare a global pandemic. Our world had been invaded by an enemy we could not see, an enemy that did not discriminate, an enemy that threatened our very way of life. World governments, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Some acted swiftly, others hesitated. The result? A patchwork of strategies that reflected not just the complexity of the crisis, but also the diversity of our global community. Some nations locked down, others remained open. Some tested aggressively, others did not. The world watched, waited, and worried as the virus continued its relentless march. In those early days, fear and uncertainty were our constant companions. We didn't know how to protect ourselves or our loved ones. We didn't know how long the crisis would last or how bad it would get. We were in uncharted territory, facing an enemy we didn't fully understand. Yet amid the chaos and confusion, there was also a sense of resolve. We knew we were in this together. We knew we had to fight, not just for ourselves, but for our neighbors, our friends, our families. We had to stand as one, even as the virus sought to divide us. And so began our global fight against an invisible enemy. This was not a fight we chose, but it was a fight we were determined to win. And in the face of this unseen enemy, we found a strength we didn't know we had, a resilience we didn't know we possessed, and a unity we didn't know we needed. And so the battle continued. But what happens when our daily routines turn into battlegrounds? Suddenly, the mundane was no longer ordinary. The world plunged into lockdowns, jobs evaporated, economies teetered on the edge. We were confined to our homes, our world shrank to pixelated screens. Classrooms, offices, even social gatherings all migrated online. Yet this wasn't the hardest battle. The silent struggle of mental health was an unexpected adversary. Anxiety, depression, isolation, they crept in with the shadows of uncertainty. But every battlefront has its heroes, and in this case, it was each one of us. Our resilience was tested, our adaptability challenged, but we didn't back down. We found strength within ourselves and in the solidarity of our communities. We shared words of encouragement, lent helping hands, and navigated the storm together. We were united by a common enemy, and in that unity, we found hope. In the face of adversity, we learned to adapt and persevere. When the world needed them most, they stepped up. But who were these heroes? They weren't caped crusaders or superpowered beings from another planet. They were the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers who donned their scrubs and PPEs as their armor, battling an unseen enemy on the front lines. They were the essential workers who kept society functioning, delivering groceries, keeping the power on, and ensuring our world didn't grind to a halt. They were the scientists and researchers, hunched over microscopes and computers, working around the clock to develop a weapon that could defeat this foe, the vaccines. They were ordinary people making extraordinary sacrifices. They were tireless, selfless, and brave. They were the embodiment of human resilience and determination. We owe them a debt of gratitude, for it was their courage and dedication that lit a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. In the midst of chaos, heroes emerged. But could we see the light at the end of the tunnel? As we navigated the labyrinth of 2020, it certainly seemed elusive. Yet hope emerged in the form of tiny vials, the vaccines rolled out in late 2020 and early 2021. These weren't just doses of medicine, they were doses of hope, heralding a new dawn. Our world, wearied by the pandemic, began to breathe again. The light at the end was becoming brighter, more tangible. But as we stepped towards it, we carried with us valuable lessons. The pandemic reminded us of the importance of preparedness, that we must always be ready to face the unexpected. It underscored the value of science, our most reliable compass in navigating the unknown. Most importantly, it revealed the power of community. In isolation, we discovered unity. In hardship, we found kindness. The pandemic, while devastating, taught us resilience. In darkness, we found hope. In struggle, we found strength. So what does this all mean for us? We've witnessed the virus's rapid spread, the struggles faced by everyday people, the emergence of heroes, and the hope vaccines brought. Remembering these lessons is crucial. The coronavirus pandemic of 2020 was a test of our resilience. But from the ashes, we rose stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before.